while we're on the topic of CeeDee Lamb, I did see Clement make a comment earlier about CeeDee Lamb and him apologizing, taking accountability for his attitude during the game. So I'm going to pause from the stats real quick to talk about that, just to make sure I don't forget to talk about that. So here's what I was thinking about as I was listening to CeeDee talk about what happened on the sideline on Sunday and his perspective on it in hindsight. So literally every season, CeeDee Lamb has improved drastically in some area. So his rookie year, he had a real problem with dropped passes. He improved on that a lot. Then they criticized his route running. He improved on that a ton. Then after that, it was a question of, is he ready to be a wide receiver one? And he proved that he could be. Broke records, stepped up as a leader, took charge, ended up being pretty much a keystone of the Dallas Cowboys offense, right? So every time he faced criticism, he just came back better. This is why on multiple occasions, I have compared him to a Pokemon. It's not rude or out of disrespect. I just keep thinking about him evolving over and over and over again. And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, what if this is the year that he evolves mentally and emotionally, right? Like he already has done all the things that we just mentioned, and he lines up everywhere on the field. So what if this is the year where the evolution that he completes isn't about what he does on the field or what he does physically? What if this is the time for him to actually do something mentally and emotionally to evolve as a player? And it's an idea that I find fascinating because when it comes to elite athletes, a lot of elite athletes, they already have an established mindset before they become an elite athlete. So if we think about people like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, so on and so forth, we can think about things that they wrote. Like Michael Jordan wrote books. LeBron James has been very open about what he did to develop as an athlete. Kobe Bryant wanted people to know about his mindset so badly that he had a series about his mindset that he did with a puppet snake, with a mamba puppet. And if you haven't seen it, you should look it up because okay, so now that I'm monetized, I don't really know what the limit is on me cussing. So that's why I stopped myself. But it was freaking epic. It was epic. I loved it. But CeeDee Lamb, he doesn't like to be in front of the cameras and mics like that anyway. And just from what we have seen, it doesn't seem like his mindset led him to becoming the elite athlete that he is. It's almost like he just had it in him physically to be an elite athlete. And now he's having to develop the temperament to go with it. I don't want to say mindset because, like, obviously for what he's accomplished, he already has a very good work ethic. But it's the temperament. I think temperament is a better word to use here than mindset. Because when we think about the LeBron Jameses and the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans of the world, and I don't know why I'm using a bunch of basketball players to compare to a football player, but just go with me on this. We don't think about them. We think about them being emotional, but not to where people would call them unprofessional or childish or some of the things that we've heard used to describe CeeDee Lamb, right? And so I guess that's why I'm wondering, or thinking that this might be the year for him to do that. And it's like, you also got to think, not only did he have to develop all the skills that he's developed in order to meet the expectations that he had, it's like people had those expectations before he even had time to adjust to what it was like being a wide receiver in the league. And doing all of that while also figuring out what it means to be a young adult male who's pretty much on the biggest stage that one can be on in their industry and doing this all in the public spotlight, I can see why there might be a little bit of work involved in developing the proper temperament and getting the mindset on track. And I feel like we don't hear enough stories like that. Like, all the stories we hear are about people who are just already the consummate professional, and that's what led them to being the athlete that they are. We don't really get to see a lot of the stories of people who have to make that trajectory in both areas at the same time and in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's just one of the things that like, I think I find a little bit fascinating. I think that's why I'm always like interested in what CeeDee Lamb has to say and what he's going through, and trying to be considerate of his perspective. It's not like I'm trying to make excuses for him. I'm like, no, I really am fascinated by this man's story. And I really do want to understand better what it's like to be in that position. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, maybe 10 cents on that. And if there's more to say on it, trust me, you'll know. But let's get back onto these stats. Clement says, congrats on 1.5K subscribers. Thank you. 2K subscribers incoming. You know what? I sure do hope so. That would be dope. All right, so we talked about the different offensive groupings for the Cowboys. Let's see.